come on then. There we go. So now we're recording because this is going to be given to the other group. I will post this recording into this channel here, Unit 4, and the rest of them. So you will see Josh, Unit 5, and Job. Well, Job's is already there, Unit 2. There you go. And then Unit 4, etc., etc. But general posts remain the same. So when I'm putting stuff in here, your class notebook guidance, it's there. All right. Now, what I want to show you. So here's the idea. I'm going to come out of this and I'm going to show you what happens with the full-timers who, for a change, are 1 week ahead of you lot. All right. And this is what we're going to use here, is class notebook on your tab. At the top of your tab, you'll see in general, class notebook, and you click on that. And you've used this before, you're no strangers to it. And there's your scenario, what we're all working to. Okay, none of this is a surprise. There's your scenario information. So you click on this button here, look. All right. Now, my view is I get to see all of the students. You will only see 4 folders. So if I go into this one here, for instance, oh, he's gone and done what I asked him to do. Look at that, full-time student doing what I asked him to do. Unreal. Let's try this chap here. There we go. Are you all doing this? Are you all actually going into your class notebook? Is there anyone who can't access this class notebook? I need to know immediately.
Steve, have I done it already? I'm pretty sure I have.
Who's talking? Who is it?
Liam Bates.
Right. What do you mean, have you done it?
I've already done, like, made all the tabs.
Okay. Well, so the answer is yes. Then you. So is everybody in? Let me just see if there's any messages. Right. Is everyone okay? So I don't want to keep going on and like you suddenly say after 15 minutes, oh, I can't find it. I don't really know. So you will see that. Okay. Now you've all done this where I give you a handout and it was the aircrete. If you remember, it was CPD stuff. I gave you some stuff on human comfort, Lanchester Library at Coventry Uni, daylighting design. I gave you that. There's your Lanchester building. So you all should have done that. And then when you go to quizzes, I set a quiz in there for you all. And it was based on the aircrete test. So you had to do the CPD stuff first. And no doubt nobody has put it into their portfolios, I imagine. Oh, I'll tell you who's missing. Jimmy Davis. Is he in? Yes, he's finally in. All right, Jimmy. So it's just Alex then. Okay. So you're no stranger to this. Now, what I want you to do right now, can you all follow me when I do this? I want you to, in your folders, you've got class notes there. What I want you to do is right click and rename that section. Okay, rename, click on there and call it Unit 4. That's it. That's all. Sorry, Unit 4 notes. That's what you need to do. Look, press OK, and that's it there. Unit 4 notes. Please do that now. And then you're going to change the next one to Unit 4 handouts. Next one, obviously, Unit 4 homework. And then finally, Unit 4 quizzes. So that's what you should have there. Everyone okay with that? You should all have done that by now. Now, yep. Cool. So you are studying Unit 2 with Job, Unit 4 with me, and Unit 5 with the pup. All right. So what you need to do is on Unit 4 notes again, right click and go to new section. Click on new section, and then you will type in Unit 2 notes. and it might be helpful just to copy the Unit 2 bit and then click OK. Now you'll see that you've got Unit 2. Just click on it and drag it above, just for the purposes of OCD, so it's in it's in a logical order. So you've got Unit 2 notes, Unit 4 notes. So click on Unit 2 notes again, new section, and then you want handouts. Click on it again, new section, Control V, quizzes, very nice. And then finally click on it again, new section, and then you've got homework. Lovely, lovely, lovely homework. And then if you're anything like me, it has to be in absolute order. So that quizzes comes down there for me. So now you'll see that you've got your notes, handouts, quizzes, homework. Hang on, I'm going to have to move that down to there because that's not in the right order for me. Notes, handouts, homework, quizzes, notes, handouts, homework, quizzes. So you should all have all 4 pages for Unit 2 and all 4 pages for Unit 4. So you need to do it again. You need to do it again for Josh. Now, while you're doing that, what you should see now, I'm going to show you an apprentice that's left the program. And this is the example I used. Let me go into class notebook. This is what you should end up with. Go down to Zara, click on hers, and there you go. That's how yours should look. Actually, I'll just see an L missing there. Look at that, on fire. So there you see class notes, handouts, quizzes, homework. All right. Now, so let me explain what's going on. With this class notebook, first of all, only I can see your work. Only I can see that. So you're not sharing work with other people. All right. And the good thing about this is that I have a live view of what you're doing. So today we're going to be doing some tasks in the new unit, construction technology. I will set you tasks, and as you're doing the tasks, I will be going into your class notebooks and I'll be watching you actually doing your work. Very nice. So if, for instance, we click on this chap here, James Tate. Now he's still, obviously he hasn't done everything I've asked him to do, and I've just posted a message in their teams naming and shaming all those that did homework and those that didn't. But I'll catch up with these lot on Wednesday just to get them to do all of what they should do here. If we look at his homework, for instance, so I asked him to do homework, click on there, and there we can see forms of low-rise construction, and this is the homework. That's his. If we take another example, let's go with Luca, which is, so he started doing, look, the tabs, he started doing that. If we look at Unit 4 class notes, this one, this is the work we did last week. So we got forms of low-rise construction, we got first fix, we got second fix, we got third fix, and then we got modular construction. So this is the stuff that you'll be doing. You can see this is what your page is going to look like. That's what we're going to be doing today. Now, the benefits of this is that first of all, we can see those that are engaging and those that aren't engaging, which is really important, because with online lecturing, it's very difficult when you're hiding behind your little pictures on Teams. We've all got little pictures. Look, when we're hiding behind those pictures, I ain't got a clue what you're doing. You know, you could have me on mute for all I know. So the thing about it is that I ask you to do a task and I can see you doing that task. I can comment on your task in live time. I can see you typing it. I can help you while you're doing it. So I can say, for instance, Liam, so I'm not going to say which Liam, but I'll just say, Liam, this is pants, mate. You've gone right down the wrong end of the stick here. What you might want to be doing is this, that, and everything. Or I might be saying, you know what, Liam, that's really good, mate. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Da, 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 da. Now, the beauty about this for parents and employers, you guessed it, when we do a review and when we have parents' evenings, I can show you class notebook. No. So I can say, look what this particular apprentice is not doing. They're not engaging. They haven't done any homework. They didn't do any of the tasks. They're all half finished. This, that, and the other. And if you're wondering why they barely scraped a pass, we'll take a look at this. All right. So this is a measuring tool. First of all, for attendance. So we know that you're actively engaging with all the lessons because you're actually doing the tasks. They come thick and fast. I think there's 5 in this one today, plus homework. So I'm going to keep you going. You know, there won't be any breathing space. I will keep you going. I'll be watching what you're doing. This is recorded, by the way, so I can even show the recording to your employer. It's not really about that, though. You know, that's the tool for us to use if ever we needed to, if ever there was any issues and stuff. Because, I mean, you are a brilliant set of apprentices this year. Both groups, don't flatter yourselves, Group 1. Group 2 are just as good as you as well. But traditionally, we always get 1 or 2 chancers who just want to be gangsters. You know, God knows how they interview well. Obviously, they get onto apprenticeship and then they just. It only takes a few days for us to sniff out the rats, but there aren't any. There just isn't. It's a great apprenticeship year this year, that's for sure. Or is it? So we'll see, won't we? We'll see how much you engage with the course. And of course, we can. I can put stuff. I can comment in your notes. I can add stuff in there for you. I can take stuff out. I can rearrange. I can do anything I want to because I can, but I won't be. I'm just going to leave you to it to be responsible about this. So you can see that it's a really big view that we have, and we can make sure that you're progressing, you're on track, and those that are smashing it, then I'll give you some extra stuff to stretch you even further to, you know, because there are plenty of apprentices in this group as well, that just level 3 is just too easy for you. You know, you're going to do these tasks, and then I always find that once I've done a task, I lose interest if I'm not challenged. I'd like to be constantly challenged and stretched, so my knowledge is just that much more deeper. Right then, so is there any questions at the moment? Because we're about to start the session, so any questions? The usual silence.
Just a quick one from me, obviously.
Sorry, what?
Just a quick one from me. Yeah. With this happening, obviously you said that this is due to take place for the whole of the year. I'm assuming this is just because of what's happened and the likelihood of us going back is very slim and you just don't know why. So is this confirmed for the whole of the year and we're not going back to the actual college?
Right. Okay. It's a good question, Beth. To be honest, I stumbled across this strategy. I'll be very honest with you. I stumbled across this because I kind of lost a bit of passion for online teaching because it's you got to agree, it's so much better in class where you can see the whites of the eyes. You know, you can see the eyes welling up, you can see the shivering, the quaking in the boots. And no, I'm only messing. It's just different online, isn't it? And sometimes it's difficult to be passionate about it if you kind of get the feeling that you're swimming against the tide and no one's really engaging, you're just going through the motions. On a bigger part of the answer to your question is that, again, we have to provide so much evidence to give you predicted grades at the end of the year. And that's my main strategy, is that I've got your notebook, which demonstrates beyond doubt, look at the level of work that you're producing. So you've got to remember this. Whatever you put in your notebooks, you're building your grade. It's as simple as that. Now, are we going back? Probably not. I don't know. There was even talk yesterday, I caught a wind on the news about, they're even talking, you know, May now about lockdown restrictions and stuff like that. The whole thing is just completely crazy and messy. And it's just, you know, I mean, I had a massive rant at McDonald's yesterday. I don't eat food at McDonald's, full stop. But what I do like is the black coffee for some reason. And I went to fuel up the car. I was fit in the kitchen yesterday. I went to fuel up the car. Walked into McDonald's. There was about 15 taxi drivers outside, all the Uber Muppets and all the Deliveroos and all that. And I went in, it was empty, and all the touch screens said, "Oh, because of social distancing, blah 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 blah." And I walked up to the counter, and the woman looked at me really shocked. She goes, "Oh, you can't come in here." And I'm like, "Why?" I had a mask on. I says, "Why?" He says, "Oh no, you can't come in here now. It's online delivery only." And I'm just like, "Are you for real? What's you saying that?" Because I want a cup of coffee, which is about £1.80, You want me to go home now, order it online, and have one of them moppets out there drive his car all the way to my house, and then you're going to charge me £6 or something? Is that the new thing? Is it? I just couldn't believe it. I rang the missus because I was just absolutely furious that it's just gone beyond the pale, mate. Just ridiculous. So I suppose in answer to the question, Beth, I don't know. I doubt it. Honestly, we probably won't see you lot till the second year. I'm afraid, and I don't lecture on the second year, so I probably won't see you lot again anyway, unless it's a review, if we're allowed to do such things. So really, it's just really about building as much evidence as we can that is indisputable, that whichever awarding body looks at it, they can't argue with the fact that you are distinction, and it's as simple as that. So look at your class notebook as something that it's your portfolio. You've got a portfolio for your standard, what you do at work, and now you're going to have a portfolio for this. So the other thing that I need to mention as well is that the external project, which is creating massive issues. I'm already organising it. I've already got a strategy for it. I've roped in Job, because effectively it's Job's unit that you're going to do the project on. And we'll do a lot of more work on that. But what I can tell you right now is that the questions for the project for this year are identical to last year's project and the year before. So if you're wondering what questions you're going to get, the questions I write for this project for this year are going to be those, and they're freely available on Teams. It's already posted in there. It's already there. You've got it. The only thing we're going to change is the scenario details. Now, the scenario is the 3D animation that you look at, that you base the exam on. That is your project as well. So you've got a big heads up there. All right. When are we setting it? I haven't got that. I don't know yet. I'm trying to push it probably more towards May, so we get most of this done, and we get I mean, you lot have got an advantage, most of you, because you do some CAD work and design work and stuff, which is over 50% of the marks for the project are CAD based and sketching and stuff like that. I've agreed with Job that if anyone struggles to get access to CAD or Revit or MicroStation or anything like that, then we're going to use Google SketchUp, which is 3D design software. And Google SketchUp, when you get your head around it, is absolutely brilliant. It's very light to run on your computer. There's thousands and thousands of video tutorials and stuff. It's all free, and all you've got to do is design a 3D view of the structure. I mean, come on, trust me, SketchUp is dead easy. It really is. So on the positive side, things are looking good for you in terms of getting through the project. This unit 4 that I'm doing with you now, I'm linking it to the project. Okay, I'm linking it to Job's stuff, because Job was going to do forms of construction and this, that, and the other. And I said, Job, you stick to all the CAD and drawing, and I'll deliver all your stuff, as well as unit 4. And I also embed the health and safety for the POP. I mean, the POP's going to do health and safety with you anyway, but he's connecting it to this as well. So we're coming at you with a 3-pronged attack for this. We'll get you through the project, and the project to be much easier than the exam that you've took. Okay. Hope that's kind of answered your question and a little bit more. Is there any other questions, any other stuff, any other business? Okay, right then. Right, let's crack on now. Let's get going. So obviously in your notebooks now, what we're doing is let's pick on, well, why not? Let's pick on Beth. Look at that. Go on, Miss Harrison. Check that out. Very, very nice. So today, everybody, and by the way, that's exemplary, Beth. Excellent, that is. Today, all of your work will be in here, look. Class 4 notebooks. This is where it is. Okay. And that's just buffering right. There we go. So you can see that, look, all the work that Beth's about to do here is in class notes. That's where we are today. Unit 4 class notes. All right. Now you can say week 1 it's up to you what you call it, and as you type it, you can see here that it automatically saves it. So because it's notebook, there is no save. There's no save function. Whatever you write in here is that's it. It's saved in there. So if you right click on this and a new page, and then we call that week 2 or week 3, and then go on there and go like that. I'm destroying your class notebook here, aren't I, Jeff? But you can see, look, as long as you've named all your pages appropriately, you can always go to it. So delete the page there, permanently delete. And then this one, all I've got to do, look, is get rid of that, like that, and get rid of that, like that. Job done. We're back to square one again because it saves in real time. Okay, so everyone needs to be in Unit 4 class notes to start this session. Right, without further ado, so we're doing construction technology. So there are 4 assignments for this. Okay, so the assignments that you've produced already for the exam, it's exactly the same. I want 0 plagiarism. I want a bibliography, obviously. I want cover page. It's got to be done the same standard. If you drop your standard, there's going to be issues. All right. Now, in your student book, assignment 1, the learning aim. Now, I think let me get my. If you can all look at the following page, I want you to look at page 179 itself in your book. And it'll tell you the assessment criteria. And you can see that it's in 4 learning aims, A, B, C, and D. So assignment 1, assignment 2, 3, and 4. And we're starting off with assignment 1. And you can see that the same words are cropping up that they did in exam look. So assignment 1, P1, is explain the different structural forms used in the construction of low-rise buildings. Well, that's what we're doing today. Also, we're going to discuss the use of different structural forms for use with a given low-rise buildings project scenario, which is the one that the poppers named it Linden Place. Obviously, I was distressed at that because it should have been Linton Place or Linton Heights, obviously. But I've had to go with it, Linden Place, because I can't be too egotistical about it, can I? So it's Linden Place is the building that you used in the exam, and that's the one we're going to be using. And then the distinction is evaluate the effectiveness of different structural forms. So can you see what we're doing here? Explain is the verb, the doing verb for a pass, and discuss. You know how to discuss. That's the merit, where you look at different viewpoints, you look at the advantages, disadvantages, pros and cons, you make your decisions. And you can all do that, and you've done it, and you've demonstrated you've done it very, very well. And then the evaluation, well, we know how to evaluate. You've all gone distinction on it, So there's your first assignment there, looking. And what we do today, and including the homework I set, this assignment will be pretty much done. And the good thing about the class notebook is whatever you put in there, is you can lift it straight out and stick it in a Word document. Job done. Now, one more thing I need to do, actually. It's what I did with the full-timers. I'm going to create one more page, one more note. I'm going to do it in yours, Beth, if you don't mind. And I'm going to create a new section, and I'm going to call it Unit 4 Bibliography. Very nice. Okay. Now, if we go to the full-timers, actually, I've got a good example here. Go to the full-timers, to their class notebook. Obviously, they've gone through this session with me. Where is he? This guy's a machine. Although he hasn't done all his tabs and that, trust me, he's good. He's very good. So you can see what I'm asking you to do, look, is in the bibliography task, is as you search stuff, and then put so this is what we're going to start off with, is this with a few images and a few sentences about what makes the structure different to others. And this is all written in his own words. That's all his own words. So therefore, he's put it in his bibliography. The links where he's got it from are in his bibliography. Look, all these links from week 1, yeah, are there. He's already building his assignment. Why do the work twice? Why do that? Are you with me? It just doesn't make sense. So what you do today is pretty much you're smashing your assignments already. You're not wasting any time on it. Yeah. Okay. Any questions? So what I want you to do is create that bibliography, and then we can crack on. So Unit 4, Construction Technology. Just like I've shown you on Beth's tab there. So Beth has Unit 4 bibliography there. So all of the work you do in your bibliography. So today, Beth, week 1, forms of low-rise construction. Or you can go week 1. You can even do it this way. How about that? Makes sense, doesn't it? Week 1, assignment 1, and then you'd have another tab, new page. You could have week 2, assignment 1. So this is all under the bibliography. Look, this is the bibliography tab. So you think, oh, what work did I do in week 1? Well, there it is. These are all your bibliography links here for what you did in week 1, and then week 2, when we do, different session, all your bibliography stuff will be there. And in your class notes, obviously, if you've got week 1 there already, and then week 2, etc., etc. Okay. And you can see how diligent Miss Harrison is. She's already started putting notes in, so very, very commendable. Very nice. Right then, I'm going to come out of that, so I'm not showing your stuff anymore, Beth. So any questions? Anyone? Everyone's okay with that? I'm sure you are. And this is to highlight in the student book. So for assignment 1, pages 179 to 190 is what we're going to cover over the next 2 weeks. After next week's session, okay, we're going to start to look at the assignment then. And what me and Josh have decided is that we're not going to give you the assignment until the teaching is finished, and then we'll probably give you a week to nail it, because that exam demonstrated such high levels because everyone was really focused on it, because they knew they were up against the clock, and it was so much more effective. But the beauty of this is that you've already done most of the work, and that's the important thing. And by the way, I'll put this presentation on to the Inside Unit 4 channel on your team, so you can always go back to this, and we've got the recording. All tasks and homework given to you must be placed into your team's class notebook. This is so we can ensure everyone is engaging with online lessons and not hiding or not bothering. As each task is completed, I will check you have done it. Homework will have a deadline too, given every time it is issued. And don't forget, I've just named and shamed all the full timers this morning, so they know I go in and look at the homework, and if it's not there, I name and shame. And remember, everything I ask you to do is working towards you getting very high grades for external project and overall course grade, so stick with it. So what I mean by that is just, buy into this, and I will make your life so much easier, because when it's assignment time, everything's ready to be put in, edited, presented, submitted, jobs are good. And your first task then, create a page in your class notebook and call it week 1, forms of low-rise construction. So in your class notes, you can see the arrow there on the side, class notes. In yours, it will be called Unit 4 notes. In there, create your first page, and it'll be week 1, forms of low-rise construction. And I want you to find 2 images for each of the following headings. So these are the 3 forms of structures of construction that we're looking at: is framed, traditional, and modular. Those are the 3 we're going to focus on. Remember, this is for your assignment. And I want you, for each of those images, I want you to, 2 images, and then write 2 or 3 sentences for each of the 3 different forms, which best describes their main purpose. In other words, why are they different to the others? They are very, very different forms of construction. So you need to find some images for each of them and write a few sentences. Make sure what you write is your own words, so it's 0 plagiarism. Don't copy and paste something into your class notebook, because we can't put that forward as evidence towards a predicted grade. Remember that. Now it says task 15 minutes. I'm going to go with 10 minutes on this one, because you are apprentices after all. It shouldn't take you 15 minutes to do this. It really is just search frame structure, go to images, pick your image, bang it in there, and now 2 or 3 sentences. What is it about frame structure? Is why it's called frame structure? What is it? All right, you got 10 minutes. Away you go.
Stephen,
Yeah.
it won't let me paste images into it. It just comes up with like a box.
Are you using Control V? Are you right clicking?
No, Control V.
Okay. It should do, but here's how you can get around that. If you go into here, right? So, oh, sorry, Beth, I'm showing all your stuff again. Let's go to Ryan Jones. Let's go to Phoebe because she's left. Let me go into class notes. So what you can do then is go into insert. Okay. So insert and then click picture from online. And then if you typed in framed construction and then click down, and obviously just enter. There you go. So let's pick this image and then click down there, insert. And then of course, whilst you're doing that, you go on the internet and you look up what makes frame structure what it is in its own right. Write a few words. Don't forget your bibliography link. And then by the time you've done that, this image will have uploaded. Trust me, it will.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So that should be a better. There have been some problems that some of the other students got. I suppose it depends what browser you're using, all sorts of stuff, you know. So when you Control V, what happens? What does it say?
Oh, it just does what it's doing now. It's loading the image in the box.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can still carry on and just go da 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 da, and then by the time, I mean, if I come out of this, let's say teacher only, where did I go to? It was Phoebe, wasn't it? Where's Phoebe? So if I go to handouts, just come out of that page. You see, my internet's not the greatest. Don't forget, we're using a server, aren't we? Where every man and their dog's using Teams at the moment. But here we go. Look, I think it's no, class notes. Yeah, it'll load up. It'll load up.
Okay.
So don't wait for it to load. Just you know, do your stuff, do your writing.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Don't forget bibliography.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm assuming, Steve, with the bibliography, you don't want us to cite it yet. It's just a case of referencing the website.
That's right, because if you just take the link out of the address bar, when you go into cite this for me, you just copy that straight in there, and then it'll cite it for you. It'll sort it all out for you. But you'll have them all there. You don't need to use them all either. It's just the ones that you actually got stuff from, you know, that you felt was interesting. You learned stuff from it. It's in your assignment in your own words. So there you go. Look, that image has just appeared now. I wonder if I was just wondering if you could get the bibliography link from that. Oh, no, it is what it is. So another 5 minutes. I'm just going to quit. Has anyone got any objection to me? Because I know I'm on screen share. Has anyone got any objection to me just popping into a few notebooks to see how things are going? Is that all right with everyone? I'm not there to have a go at anyone. I just want to make sure everything's all right.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that's strange. It's everyone's in the same. That's weird. Looks like everyone's in the same notebook there, both first year and first group and second group. Let's have a look. Yeah, so let's pick on Aaron. Oh, look at that. Very, very good. Very nice. That's not how we spell bibliography, is it? Big bibliography. Aaron, no wonder you're building services, mate. They don't trust you in the civil engineering. Look at that. Should we have a look at his notes? Let's have a look at his notes. Oh, look at he's flying. He's flying. Very good. You're on your way, mate. Let's have a look at Jimmy boy. Looking good. Class notes. Don't forget, he's got his bibliography as well. Nothing happening in there, Jimmy. Any reason why?
I'm just writing it down on paper so I can type it up without copying and pasting it across.
Remember, this is going to move fairly quickly, Jimmy, and I want really use this. This is a notebook. This isn't writing your assignment work now, as so to speak. You can always just get some stuff in here, image it. Don't fall behind, mate. Okay, because if you're writing it in paper, you've still got to do it in here anyway. So you might as well just do it straight in here. I know everyone's got their own way of doing things, Jimmy, and if that's how you want to do it, that's fine, mate. Just make sure you don't fall behind with it. Mr. Doyle, let's have a look at Mr. Doyle. There we go. That's a mess, that is, Liam. That's all over the place, mate. That's wrecking my head, that is. Let's go what he's got here. Yeah. Liam, just as a bit of advice, mate, steel skeleton are a strong frame structure. It doesn't say why. The question is asking you to put 2 or 3 sentences to explain why it's called frames. Why is this called framed construction? I mean, I suppose it's a bit obvious, but it's why it's different to the other 2 forms. That's what you're looking for, not so much describing what's in the picture. Let's look at Miss Rose.
Steve, what are the other types of
framed, traditional, and modular.
Yeah, thank you.
Can you see that there? Yeah. Framed, traditional, and modular. So where was we, Olivia? Where's your class notes, Olivia? Is that?
It should be there.
Is that it there? It's just called class notes. So you haven't got.
No, I have done the unit 4.
Oh, you can see what I can see, can't you?
Hold on.
Yeah, it seems like you've created all.
I don't know why it's that. On my screen, it shows unit 4 class notes, unit 4 handouts.
Oh, does it?
But
I'm sorry. Well, you can see on mine. It'll catch up. I'm sure.
When I click on it, it then puts the unit 4 in front of it, but it is definitely there.
It's just come on.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that. It's strange.
Okay. Again, careful with what you write there, Olivia. It's if you think about it, all forms of structure are to carry heavy loads, obviously, otherwise they'd fail. So that's not really the determining factor that separates them from the other 2. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's why is frame structure different to traditional? It's the difference between them is yeah. Don't worry, I'm about to go over these. We've got 1 more minute, and then I'll go over these. Let's take a look at Shannon's class notes. Okay, yeah, okay. again, for yourself, Shannon, it's, like I said to Olivia and Liam, it's more about the difference, stating the difference between them. Let's have a look at Zane. Oh, look at this, has even got the dates here. Look, very organised. Ah, you see now Zane's nailing this. Look, frame structure construction is where the building's internal structure is supported by a frame or skeleton, not by walls and ceilings. Very good. So he hasn't done. Okay, so you get, yeah, it's work. We get the idea now. It's, yeah, cool. Right then, so we need to stop that. Stop that. Stop that. And then we're going to crack on. So typically a type of construction that is erected quickly, of which the main strategy is a frame, as Zane's correctly pointed out. So you can see an example on the left there, a warehouse, and then you can see a supermarket on the right. Effectively, a frame structure is for creating massive areas of space without obstruction. So obviously you wouldn't be living in like a warehouse without any walls and ceilings and stuff, because you could imagine, like, you know, you got to go to the toilet at some point, and if you've got no walls and stuff like that, it's going to be a very embarrassing 5 minutes, isn't it? Everyone can, yeah, well, you get the idea. So frame construction, don't forget when we start to discuss this, it's about the advantages and disadvantages. If I can ask a quick question, just to tease a few ideas, what do you think about in terms of cost for a developer? Is this low, medium, or high?
I'd say medium.
Low cost.
Why?
To be Steve, for medium.
You're saying it's medium. Why?
Because of the amount of steel used there, and the construction being built off site, also the materials being built off site, transported to site.
Mm-hmm. And can anyone else add another reason? Why would this be why is this form of structure favoured in terms of cost? There's a big obvious one. There's nothing inside us. Are you with me? There's nothing inside us. It's just an open space. Generally, everything that you put in there is just aesthetics and stock. That's it. So in a warehouse in the far corner, you'd have an office. That's it. The rest would just be what we call stills, which is the steel shelving or something, and there are a few forklifts, and you're up and running business-wise. What about health and safety? Low, medium, or high?
Would it be quite low, because there doesn't really need to be a lot of people on site in order to like erect the steel frame and things.
Very good. Yeah, absolutely. Less chance it goes up. It's a rapid form of construction. Less chance of risks. Obviously, pretty much everything is prefabricated, brought to site, and in a sequential manner. It's all put together, and the risk is rather low in that sense. And then what about speed in relation to, say, traditional structures?
It's quite quick to put up as long as it's not windy.
Yeah, and that's a good point, health and safety wise, Beth, the windy bit, because I always remember when I took my lads off site in Ireland, in Cork. I was working on a frame structure, concrete deck and frame, and we were doing dry line and metal partition and stuff, and we were picking up plasterboards. We were right next to the River Lee in Cork City, and we were picking the plasterboards up, and we were getting spun around with the wind, and then obviously the gaffers didn't like it, the bosses, and that when I pulled the lads off, but I can't remember what it was, but there was a certain wind speed that you can walk off, but health and safety, you're not allowed to work with a certain wind speed and certain types of activities. It didn't go down well. I didn't get many more contracts with that particular developer, but hey ho, I'm still alive to tell the tale. But yeah, good point made there, Beth. So traditional is typically a stage by stage construction where the structure is built in steps with trades following on from each other. So the house you live in, that is traditional construction, unless you live in a porter cabin or a caravan buyer or a caravaner and take the dogs for a walk there now. So your phases are your excavation, and then you've got your foundation. Everything below ground level is called substructure, and everything above the ground level is superstructure, so the walls and the roof. Okay, And then you've got the weatherproofing. So when we look back at this example on the left, obviously the walls are going up and the roof's going up, but it's not yet weatherproofed. So typically you've got two terms called insulation and exhalation. So internal, external. And the exhalation is effectively the weatherproofing of the building all the way around. So that's traditional construction. But within that traditional construction, we have first fix, second fix, and third fix. Now, quite a lot of people have heard of first and second fix, and quite a lot of ill-educated construction workers have heard of first and second fix, but quite a few of them actually do third fix and they don't even know they're doing it. That tells you everything about today's construction workers. They don't even know third fix even exists. But in the next 10 minutes, you will. So again, we got task 20 minutes. I think really we're looking at 10 minutes, 15 minutes somewhere. We'll see how it goes. I'll look in some of your notebooks and see where we're going with it. So what I want you to do is looking specifically at traditional construction, not framed, not modular, just traditional. You need to create a page in the class notebook and call it week 1 traditional construction process. And I want you to create 3 subheadings. So you've got your first, second, and third fix. So in each, you state what part of the construction sequence takes place and include photos. So if you're looking at first fix, get a photo or 2 for first fix on its own, in its own page, or you can do it all on one page if you want to. You can do all, just as I say, just subheadings on the same page. And for each, I want you to identify as many trades as you can that are involved with each sequence, and some trades are involved with more than one. Okay, don't just get a photograph and say, here's a carpenter and here's an electrician, and that, you know what I mean? What happens, what activities take place typically at first fix. There's a big difference between first, second, and third. And for each, give photo examples of typical activities which happens with each. So in other words, what happens with first fix and who are involved. Same again for second, same again for third. All right, so I'll give you about 10 minutes. All right, give you about 10 minutes. Away you go. Right, let's take a look at some of your work. Well, we looked at today. Ben, let's look at Ben. Unit 4 notes. Right, that's good. First fix. Second fix. Okay, so your first and second looks okay, Ben. Let's look at Jimmy. Yeah, looking good. Yep, good stuff, Jimmy. Liam Bates. That's looking good. Yeah, we're on the right line, aren't we? Who haven't we picked on? Well, we've picked on everyone, apparently. Okay, right. Okay, we're on track then. Good stuff. So moving on to the next one is modular construction, and this is all the rage for obvious reasons, etc. Especially given the current corona crisis, etc. About these hospitals being put up in a couple of weeks in China and the Nightingale in London, etc., etc. It's a form of construction that's best suited to like hospitals and hotels. And we're going to go into this in a little bit more detail. It's an extremely fast style of construction, and it's chosen more and more across the globe for lots of obvious reasons. And it's predominantly prefabricated, pre-made elements, a little bit like frame structure. The difference with frame structure and modular is the modular comes complete, whereas like a hotel build, where you will put a foundation down, then you start putting the steel structure up, and as you're building the steel structure, you start craning the concrete decks into place. So you create the first floor, and then they crane in the pod, which I used to manage a company many years ago back in Ireland with let's see, there we go. That's a typical example of one. In fact, there's a really good example of one there. So you can see that these pods, you can see that this is just crane. So if you go into, obviously, I would imagine everyone's been in a hotel, and interestingly, when you look all around you here, that's a frame structure, isn't it? We know that now. And typically, there's your concrete deck that it's all sitting on. Then you've got the steel above and your cladding, so obviously the exhalation. But this particular pod here, if you walk into a hotel room, as soon as you walk through the door, on your left or on your right is going to be the bathroom door. That's it. Because they keep all the pods central along the corridor. So all the services are all kept central as well. So you would, it's obviously, if you're going to start putting pods in different parts of a hotel room, then you're going to have a nightmare running all the utilities and stuff. So all of these outlets here, which is the waste over here, 32mm waste pipe, and you've got your T-junctions there. So this, if you can imagine, this would be the corridor wall. This would be against this bit. And obviously this just disappears down and tees into the main trunk that would go along there like that. So this is craned in, and within a few hours, this is live. And then what happens then is that all of this is plasterboarded, straight on plasterboarded, and they don't plaster in hotels. What they do something called tape and jointing. And with tape and jointing, very nice, tape and jointing, and it's a separate trade in its own right, and effectively that's what it is. So a plasterboard ceiling there, you can see your man, and they put a certain tape along all the joins where all the plasterboards meet, and then these are all the screw holes, etc. And it's just filled over and it's sanded, and then you can see typically that's what it looks like there, and that's ready for painting. So there's no plastering involved there. That's just called tape and jointing. So you can see that it's an extremely quick form of construction that goes hand in hand with modular construction. You can see another one here, applying the tape, and then there's 3 different types of filler. So you got your main filler, then it gets finer and finer, and there you can see your man they're sanding it off like that. So a very, very quick form of construction. Where have we gone? Oh, there's a house I'm going to view. Very nice. Where was I? So you can see here that this is when they're craned into place. You can see all the electrics here. Look, so you've got your electrics, your water and plumbing all connected up, and inside there, it's a sealed unit. So inside there is the bathroom mirror, even the cups for the toothbrush holders. Everything is complete. There's nothing to do in there. Absolutely nothing. It's extremely quick form of construction. And the other, while we're there, can you tell me where is the first fix there? Where is the first, the second, and the third fix? So where's the first fix? That pod. Someone tell me.
Offside.
No. Look at the pod. That pod is built inside that warehouse there. That's where that's constructed. Before it's moved anywhere, it's been made there. So you've got your first, second, third fix all in one place there. Where is the first fix?
Isn't it the isn't it the electrical and the plumbing?
No. How can you put electrics up if you haven't got the first fix done? What's the first fix?
Steel.
It's the steel. Absolutely. So we've got to weld the frame together to create the skeleton for it. What else is the first fix?
The little wooden foundation.
Well, yeah, I'll give you that one. So so it's lifted onto that. So, but obviously the blocks won't go with the pod. They're just to keep keep it off the floor, looking to keep the obviously because you've got this over here. We couldn't put these in if the whole thing was sat on the floor, and you can see some power. Obviously, this power is powering up the lights inside the pod. So as part of the first fix, we've got the steel frame structure. What else is first fix?
The insulation.
Insulation.
The installation. So the pipe work.
The what?
The pipe work.
Pipe work, yeah, of course. So the plumbing, first fix, yeah. Where else? What else?
All the electric work as well. For the
Spot on. Spot on. First fix, so when this pod arrives, all the first fix is done there. So the second fix would be connecting the pipe work up. The second fix here would be fitting the mattresses and the electrical plates, obviously, so we can use the electricity at that point. And when we go inside the bathroom, as you can see there, we can see that's all second and third fix, because obviously it's all tiled, it's all shiny off finished. The toilet's been, that you can see the towel rail, heated towel rail just there, etc. Your downlighters and stuff. And with the third fix, obviously the third fix is the finer detail. So the cup holders, the curtains, the blinds, the finishing touches, the real top end. So that's what you're looking at: first, second, third fix, all in one there. Now the other thing about modular is also modular kitchen extension. Just for an example, so effectively what happens here is that you order an extension and it comes like that. That's how it comes. I know this is an Oriental one, something like that, but effectively this can happen on your street tomorrow, where what they're doing there, they prepare all the utilities, etc. at your house. They don't knock the back wall out of your kitchen just yet. They'll do that on the day. They'll break all your walls open on the day that the crane arrives with your kitchen extension. It's craned into place, and then all the utilities, as you've just seen there, that's how your kitchen would come as well, in the right places for all your stuff to be connected up to. So you're talking about kitchen extensions being craned into place, and it's all done in a day. It's all done in a day. Another example is what I used to do in Ireland, timber framed. construction, another very rapid form of construction. I did timber and metal framed housing. If we take a look at this example there, and you often see this when you're on the motorway, etc., where you'll see an entire house on the back of a lorry. It's all pre-made. In fact, that's not the best example. Let's choose a better one than that. Yeah, this one here, that's a good one. So this here, that's typically, there's your house, and that house would have took me and well, 3 lads, I suppose. That would probably have taken us 4 days, 5 days to get to that stage. So we'd have the foundation already laid, obviously, all the foundations in place. The steel RSJ rolled steel joist is there. Look, that's ready on site. There's one over here as well. Everything is just craned into place, nailed together with pass load guns, etc., and away. There's a house in a week, and then obviously we start the installation and exhalation of that, the roofing and so on and so forth. So a very, very rapid form of construction, and we used to do a lot of the metal framed as well. So when you're talking about, I mean, it's the same thing. Look, it's either wood or timber, wood or metal, isn't it? See there, that's a great example. That one. That's a great example. That's perfect. So you build all the metal frame. The metal frame ones, you can put them up literally in a day, 2 days. So easy because it's so light. And then what you do is you put the outer skin up, the brickwork, and then you fill the inner voids of the metal with damp-proof membrane and insulation, and then you plasterboard the inside, and there you go. I mean, you're talking a house complete in approximately 4 weeks from start to finish. You know, and it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's, you know, because of living in a metal framed house. I don't know, some people have. I mean, if I was to show you something like this on a different scale, has anyone heard of cob housing? Anyone? It's just mud and straw. That's all it is. That's all it is. And there was a guy called Kevin McCabe who brought it back to. In fact, this was the house that he built. He sold this for $1 million. He sold that for $1 million back in, I think he resurrected in about 1990, 1991. But when you start looking at these cob houses, these are extraordinary. They can be, you know, very quirky like this, or they can be, some of them are stunning, and I mean, they're worth millions. You can, oh, actually, this is the house. That's the one at Kevin McCabe. That's the one he sold for $1 million. But you see other examples. That one there, that's the one I usually show in lecture, is this one. I love this one. Look at that. That's a house made of mud and straw. You know, and this is a seasonal thing, obviously, with and it's extremely time intensive. This takes months and months, and sometimes a couple of years to make because of the weather, etc. But you'd never know. You'd never know the difference between the two. And the problem with this one is the U value meeting building regulations, etc. That's why it's so hit and miss. Now, there's just a couple more things I need to show you. What's it called? How do I word it now? Paving. I've forgotten what the bloody word is. Oh, hang on a minute. Started this. Yeah, there we go. So this is where modular construction has just been taken. This is a Dutch firm who do this, and they lay entire roads like this. And I'll show you a video of one. You can actually see it going. That one there, that'll do. Have a look. Have a watch this.
A machine that lays down paving bricks, which is fed with loose bricks, and lays them out onto the road as it slowly moves along. It is electrically powered and available in 13, 16 and 20 foot widths. The machine consists of few moving parts, so noise and maintenance are kept to a minimum.
So you get the idea. It's not just about houses and stuff like that. It's there's a whole new global movement about modular construction, not just houses and warehouses and whatever, but sky rises. You know, sky rises that are like 170 floors high. That's all modular. That's not a traditional construction by any means. That's just not going to happen. And there's just one more thing, is the 3D concrete printing, which I love this. These have taken it to a new level where they print houses now and print it very effectively. I'm going to show you a couple of extracts from this one here. Actually, not that one. Where's my little castle gone? I want me castle. Where's me castle? Where are you? Well, this is an extract from it. So let's take a quick look at this. What you can see here, I think we've all seen 3D concrete printers. 3D printers. But this is taken to a new level now, where we can. Let me go to image again. I just want to show you. There's one with a castle that they printed. No, can I quickly show you? Where is it? 3D concrete printing castle. This is really impressive. There we go. This is it. So this is all printed, concrete printed, just to show you, you know, and obviously once that's plastered and everything, you got an entire mini castle there built. I mean, that would probably take a few weeks to print, but the Chinese are actually printing full buildings, and we are as well. You know, this is a big movement in the construction industry where, you know, you have an entire house just printed. Here's one. Oh, that's your printing. That's the printer itself. There's another example there.
Or off-site? Would they be printed on-site or off-site?
You could, well, you can see the setup there. That could be printed on site, but the logistics of it, what I would imagine that they do, you can see this here where, you know, it's modular panels. But yes, it can be printed on site, but obviously the logistics need to be, you know, here's another one. You know, that's a 3D printed house. I mean, and the thing with the 3D printing is that there's no, you know, there's no limitation to the design. It's achievable. Look at this. I mean, look at that. That's just insane. Look at that. And you know, that's the point of modular construction. There is like, you know, all this can be printed and just brought together with the crane, job done. You know, Chinese 3D printed bridge. I want to show you this image just to discuss very quickly, because this is a significant picture for lots of reasons. Now, I want you to take a look at that picture, right, and identify 3 forms of construction. Where are they? So we've got the 3D printed bridge, obviously in the foreground. We've got traditional construction here, obviously at the side, this traditional brick construction. But where else? Where else are we seeing all 3 forms of structures? Come on.
You've got modular right in the background.
You've got modular in the background, so it's spot on, Beth. So we got over here, we can see all those like blue. This is modular. That is all day long modular. This is modular, the one at the front here. Where's the frame structure?
Is it like the building to the right? The yellow,
yep.
oh, sorry, orange,
yep.
not frame.
This one here, maybe not enough evidence to back that up. That could just be some sort of random or whatever, but certainly this one, the big white one, frame structure, that is. And where is it? What about the traditional?
Would that be the foundations for the bridge?
No. Come on. Staring you in the face. Come on, where's traditional? What is traditional construction? It's step-by-step construction, traditional house building. Come on.
Roads and the paths, I guess, as well.
Where?
The roads and the paths.
The paths. Did you say the path?
And the road.
Yeah, well, that looks like traditional. But don't forget what we've just seen with that road pavior laying system. So, we can't say whether that tarmacking was done as traditional. It could have been, I do accept that it's probably traditional, but there's something more obvious than that. More obvious, traditional. Okay. Can you not see all these houses here? At the back, look. They're traditional houses. This is what people live in. Can you see them?
Yeah.
Well, there you go then. In this picture, you have traditional at the back. You have your modular here. You have frame structure here. And then you have 3D printed there, which is next level construction. So in that picture there, you've got absolutely everything. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to find Spider-Man. Where is he? See if you can find him. Where's Spider-Man? See, you're all looking at the people on the bridge, I bet you.
Yeah, I see him.
You see him? Where is he?
Is it in the back on the frame structure?
Yeah, spot on. There he is, look. There. Honestly, that's Spider-Man all day long, isn't it? Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider. Okay, stop that. Right, back to the modular construction, and guess what's coming? Another task. Very nice. So you got 25 minutes, but you haven't, because we've only got 30 minutes left. So I'm going to give you 20 minutes on this one, and then we're going to set the homework. So I want you to create a document titled Modular Construction. And with the following stages, find photo examples of the following stages. That doesn't sound good, does it? That's, let's get rid of that, because that's crap English, isn't it? Right, so with the following stages, find photo examples. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Oh, yeah, whatever. So walls, floors, roofs, bathroom. I've showed you a bathroom. I've showed you an extension. I've showed you 3D printed walls. You've got prefabricated floors, which are concrete decks, which arrive on the back of a lorry as well. I want you to state one advantage for each of those in comparison to traditional. So you're comparing modular to traditional. So traditional is the house building, obviously. The modular, what advantage has each of those got over traditional? And you've got 20 minutes, okay? 20 minutes. I'm going to turn your mic off for a minute. right, let's take a look at some of the stuff you're doing. Let's close all these down. Anyone got any questions?
Yeah, aren't flooring and roofing similar in terms of modular structure construction?
If that's how you see it, then yes, I agree with that. But there are different forms of roofing and floors. Also, are you with me? So it's not just about concrete decks, etc. And it depends what type of roof. I mean, generally, they're comparable, but they can be very different as well. Without saying too much. So we'll look at Aaron. Good. Is that it? Bloody hell, Aaron. Not pulling up trees there, pal. Good, Ben. Notes. Looking good on the modular. Well done, Ben. Miss Harrison. Ah, good picture. Like it. Good stuff, Beth. It's good stuff, that. Jimmy. Bit of a way to go there yet, Jimmy. Don't forget to put your bibliography on so you got your bibliography there, Jimmy. Make sure that goes into your bibliography tab that you've created, which should be there. That should be your week 1. So I'll put that in there for you, Jimmy. So put your links inside this one. If you want to, you don't have to, like, but it would be prudent. Liam, class modular construction. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, we're getting there. Wherever you don't finish, folks, this still needs finishing. Remember that. It's part of the work that you should have got through today. So it's just a matter of mopping up what we got here. Modular construction. Careful on this one, Liam, because this what you've got here, this image of the brick, that's traditional. That's not modular. That's 2 brick skins, because you got your brick ties there. This is traditional construction, unless you're, no, it's not a comparison either. So that wouldn't fit in with this. That's not modular, mate. And the same with your cut roof. That's traditional. That's what I used to do. I used to lecture that as well. But cut roof and to be honest, this is as well. This is just a form of traditional construction. I don't know if you've gone down the wrong end of the stick there, Liam. But those 3 there, I wouldn't have classified as modular in any way. But definitely traditional. Sorry, mate. Olivia. Modular. Yeah, walls and floors, a bit of a way to go. Owen. Class notes. Modular. Yeah, good example, that one. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, that's good stuff, that is. Good man, Owen. Good stuff. Shannon. Oh, look at this. Bloody hell, you're motoring, Shannon. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, that's a good picture. I like that one with all the pods in there. Yeah, that reminds me of years ago when I used to, those were extensions then, aren't they? Excellent, really good stuff, Shannon. And lastly, we got Zane. Unit 4 notes, modular construction. Good images, a bit more detail would be, obviously this, again, we just remind ourselves that this is a notebook. These are notes, so obviously you will elaborate on this. So the purpose of all this really is when you come back to it next week or the week after, when you do your assignment, you'll be reminded about what you were looking at in the first place. But yeah, that's good stuff. Right then, now we need to go to the homework. Love a bit of homework. So this homework is due by Friday, the 5th of February. That's this week. So you've got a week, you've got 5 days to do this. And it's not an awful lot. Trust me, it really isn't. So let me just put your mind at rest. This is what I'm asking for, is this. Okay, you're going to create a table. You've got your traditional frame and modular. You're going to compare them to each other. So cost-wise, traditional, what do you think? Low, medium, and high. Why? Don't just put low and then move on, because this is towards your, in the distinction it says evaluate the effectiveness of different structural forms for use with a given low-rise building project scenario. So you know, why would you just put cost low? That's not evaluating. That's not, you know, you need to go into more detail on that, because what I'm trying to do is prepare you for distinction. That's what this homework's all about. So where does the sustainability come in? Which one fares the better out of those three, and why? And don't forget, remember, I'll tell you what, I'll throw the question out there. Which do you think is the most sustainable out of those three forms of construction? Which do you think is the most sustainable, or can be the most sustainable?
Modular, just because of like the least amount of waste and things.
See, I could argue that is not the case, because if you look at traditional, I've just showed you a house that's made of mud and straw that you can get off your own, like buy a bit of land, and then you've got all the materials to build your house. So that's incredibly sustainable if you look at it that way. So remember, when you make an evaluation, you have to look at all aspects of it, don't you? So whilst you are right in saying modular is very sustainable, depending on, you know, what form of traditional. So you got straw bale housing. Yeah, you got your houses made of straw bales. Look it up. Straw bale housing. You can have gabion basket foundation. You can have your cob walls, etc., and a thatched roof. That is an incredibly sustainable house at the end of the day. And then all of it can be broken down and left to rot back into the ground as nitrogen and carbon. And then you can grow potatoes. Yeah, of course you can, because it's all sustainable. Very nice. So, and remember, health and safety. What about the health and safety? Well, modular for me is far less risky than framed. Framed is certainly far less risky than traditional. Why? Because traditional takes a long time, so there's more scope for accidents. But then framed has different, you got working, got height issues, etc. Modular has issues, you know, obviously that again is working at height. Speed, well, obviously modular and framed, wipe the floor with traditional. And then notes, that column there is for you to just, you know, those of you, don't forget, this is distinction stuff. This is what I'm preparing you for. All right. So in your homework, you've got a homework tab. You can see it there, look, homework. It'll say Unit 4 homework. in the table, create 4 columns, as I've just shown you: cost, sustainability, health, safety, speed of construction, and find as much information as possible for each in terms of advantages, disadvantages. Don't forget distinction, merit and distinction this is covering. In a 5th column, identify where best each type of form would be used. So this would be your notes. Remember, there will be considerations to bear in mind, such as, so remember, if you really want to hit a distinction, in evaluation, you'd be looking at location. So is it in a city centre? So what form of construction would be, I mean, traditional in a city centre? Probably not a good idea. Depends. But out in the green belt, well, that's different, isn't it? It's, you know, it's, what about if it's a conservation area? What type of vehicles are going to be allowed into a conservation area? What type of structure is allowed in a conservation area? Some materials you can't use. Access and egress to and from the site. That could be a city centre issue. It could be it could be a location issue with access in terms of, you know, the type of land, the access roads that are already existing. Do you have to put an access road down in place, connect it up to infrastructure? Budget is always a driving factor. So don't forget, while modular is very, very quick, it's very expensive as well, because you're paying for all the built-in labour and logistics and the materials that have been built into that. That's what you're getting is a finished price. Whereas if you buy a bunch of materials and stick it all together yourself, then obviously labour cost is just you. So the materials are cheaper than modular. So traditional is cheaper than modular in terms of budget. But then in terms of health and safety and speed, it's very different. What about the purpose of the building? So what type of structure? So again, purpose of the building, frame structure. It's not domesticated. It's not residential. You're not living in a warehouse. Okay, you're not a bunch of hippies who are squatting in a warehouse. That's not what we're saying here. We're saying purpose of building suits, like a hotel. That suits modular, doesn't it? You get the idea. Carbon emissions is another issue there. What about the carbon emissions? Well, if you look at traditional cob-built housing and straw bale housing, which you can propose that argument. You can put that forward in evaluation and say, well, you know, it is a form of construction. So bring it into your argument, bring it into your discussion. So don't forget, all of this this session is recorded. So at the end of the day, like, you can always go back over my points about, you know, and don't forget what I'm saying, what I've just covered in this slide here about location, conservation, etc., are only just thoughts that I'm pinging off the top of my head at the moment. You know, it doesn't make me right and it doesn't make me wrong, and that's what a distinction is all about. It's about your thoughts on things. You can't be right or wrong on a distinction. What you can be is insufficient. In other words, there's just not enough argument, not enough debate, not enough evaluation or justification. So remember that. And then obviously you don't really need this slide because we've got it here, haven't we? Class notes, it says you are required to put all of your documents, research notes that you've been asked to do today into your class notebook on Teams. So forget, Moodle is where you're going to submit. Okay, Moodle will always be where you submit your assignments to go through Turnitin plagiarism. And from time to time, resources will be put into Moodle, but likewise, resources will be put into your class notebook. So whilst I speak, I shall show you. So I'm going into Unit 4 Construction Technology, and I'm going to there we go, and I'm gonna in a minute. Files, sorry, so sorry. And we're going to put upload file, and then we're going to find, where the hell am I? Unit 4, and whoa, oh, that's this, oh yeah, that's the science, isn't it? Where the hell is that? Bear with me. That is that's why it's on the old RQF, isn't it? So OneDrive documents, that's it, RQF, and then Unit 4 Construction Technology, and there is the bad boy. What do you mean? I just... Ah, mate, honestly. I don't know about you lot, but all this OneDrive and auto-saving nonsense and everything and access is just doing my Sweden. There you go. So today's session is there. Okay, I will put the recording takes a while to come through on share, on whatever share drive or whatever that's called. Other than that, now look, the homework is you need to do the homework. Full stop. There's no submission deadline, just like there wasn't with the first years. But I did go in this morning. That I've got them in class on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday. I went in and I've named and shamed. I've gone in and I'll show you exactly what I've done so you can see what's coming. Is that if you're not engaging and stuff, don't forget this builds a case for you, not only for your predicted grades, but also, you know, if things are not going great and we can clearly see that you're not performing as it should be, then your employer will get an opportunity to take a look at this. And as I say, if you want to challenge it, then the recordings will be made available. If that's the case, it ain't going to be the case with you lot. Just stay on track. That's all I'm asking. If you missed the deadline on Friday, I get it. It could be Saturday, it could be Sunday, but don't get your name in this list come next Monday. Try not to. So this is morning all. Here is the name and shame list of those who did not bother to do last Friday's homework that I urged you to do to keep on track. I'm extremely disappointed with wasting my time with most of you. And then here is a list of those that did engage and showed they really want to achieve very highly. So you got those. And then, and the star player of the week for the best work of all goes to... Great stuff, mate. Well done. So, you know, there's a bit of praise in there. There's a bit of name and shame and all that kind of stuff. Right, that concludes this week's session. Has anyone got any questions regarding that, what we've done today?
Sorry.
Yes. Sorry again.
Homework submitted.
No, in your Teams. That's why you've just created a tab called Unit 4 Homework. Bit of a giveaway, Aaron.
That's right. You said Moodle earlier as well.
No, Moodle. You will be submitting your official assignment in Moodle. That's because it's got to go through the Turnitin plagiarism. But look there, that's your tab.
Yeah.
So today's homework, what you should have in your homework now is week 1, there you go, week 1. In fact, you've already started doing it, you muppet. Look at that. This is where you need to be, mate, honestly. This is where you need to be putting it, exactly where you've been putting it. Yeah?
Super, yeah, no worries.
Yeah, so you're rocking and rolling already there, mate. Absolutely fine. That's yeah, spot on. You're already engaging with it, which, you know, I didn't suspect that you wouldn't, or any of you. So, as I say, you can see what I can see. So obviously you can't hide, can you? You can't hide. Right. Are there any more questions? I wonder. Okay. Rightio then, I'll conclude the session, and as I say, I'll post the video session on here shortly as soon as it comes through. Other than that, don't forget to, if you got any questions, don't bother emailing me because it's almost like snail mail. Emails are boring. If you Teams me, I get a notification. As you know, if you get a message in Teams, your Teams icon flashes until you go into it. Bit different with emails. If you want quicker responses, Teams me, and happy to help. Okay. Right. Without further ado, then I'll let you all go. And don't forget it's normal timetable today. So obviously you've got Job, and it's not. I think you got Job next, and then you got the pop. Okay. Rightio then. I shall. Yes. Okay. Thanks, Aaron. I'll see you all next week.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.